Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome you to our channel Youth of Islam. Today in our video we would be narrating the complete detailed story of Adam alayhi salam. So begins the story of Adam alayhi salam, the first man, the first prophet and the first human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam from a handful of soil containing portions from all its varieties on earth. Angels were sent to earth to collect the soil that was to become Adam alayhi salam. It was red, white, brown and black. It was soft and malleable, hard and gritty. It came from the mountains and the valleys, from infertile desert and lush fertile plains, and all the natural varieties in between. The descendants of Adam alayhi salam were destined to be as diverse as the handful of soil from which their ancestor was created. All have different appearances, attributes and qualities. The first human is honored. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels in Quran Surah Sad verse 71 and 72, I am going to create a human from sounding clay of altered black smooth mud. So when I have fashioned him and breathed into him soul created by me, then you fall down prostrate to him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored the first human Adam alayhi salam in countless ways. Allah blew his soul into him. He fashioned him with his own hands and he ordered the angels to bow down before him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels in Quran Surah Al-A'raf verse 11, prostrate to Adam, and they prostrated except Iblis, Shaitan. While worship is reserved for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, this prostration by the angels to Adam alayhi salam was a sign of respect and honor. It is said that Adam alayhi salam's body trembled into life. He sneezed and immediately said, all praise and thanks is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded by bestowing his mercy upon Adam alayhi salam. The first greeting. Adam alayhi salam was instructed to approach a group of angels sitting near to him and greet them with the words Assalamu alaikum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's peace be upon you. They answered, Wa alaikum assalam. And also upon you be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's peace, mercy and blessing. From that day forward, these words became the greeting of those submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From the moment of Adam alayhi salam's creation, we, his descendants, were instructed to spread peace. Adam alayhi salam, the caretaker. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told mankind that he did not create them except that they should worship him. Everything in this world was created for Adam alayhi salam and his descendants in order to aid us in our ability to worship and know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's infinite wisdom, Adam alayhi salam and his descendants were to be the caretakers on earth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salam what he needed to know to perform this duty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 31. He taught Adam all the names of everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Adam alayhi salam the ability to identify and designate names to everything. He taught him language, speech and ability to communicate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala imbued Adam alayhi salam with an insatiable need for love of knowledge. After Adam alayhi salam had learned the names and uses for all things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels, as mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 31 and 32, tell me the name of these if you are truthful. They answered, glory be to you. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. Verily, it is you, the all-knower, the all-wise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned to Adam alayhi salam and said, as mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 33, O Adam, inform them of their names. And when he had informed them of their names, he said, did I not tell you that I know the unseen in the heavens and the earth, and I know what you reveal and what you have been hiding? Adam alayhi salam tried to speak with the angels, but they were occupied worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angels were given no specific knowledge or freedom of will, their sole purpose being to worship and praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Adam alayhi salam, on the other hand, was given the ability to reason, make choices and identify objects and their purpose. This helped to prepare Adam alayhi salam for his coming role on earth. So Adam alayhi salam knew the names of everything, but he was alone in heaven. One morning, Adam alayhi salam awoke to find a woman gazing at him. Adam alayhi salam opened his eyes and looked into the beautiful face of a woman gazing down at him. Adam alayhi salam was surprised and asked the woman why she had been created. She revealed that she was to ease his loneliness and bring tranquility to him. The angel questioned Adam alayhi salam. They knew that Adam alayhi salam possessed knowledge of things they did not know about and the knowledge mankind would need to occupy the earth. They said, "Who is this?" And Adam alayhi salam replied, "This is Hawa." Adam alayhi salam informed the angels that Hawa was so named because she was made from a part of him and he was a living being. Traditions of Rasul Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam relate that Bibi Hawa was created while Adam alayhi salam was sleeping from his shortest left rib and that after some time she was clothed with flesh. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used the story of Bibi Hawa's creation from Adam alayhi salam's rib as a basis for imploring people to be gentle and kind to women. O Muslims, I advise you to be gentle with women, for they are created from a rib, and the most crooked portion of the rib is its upper part. If you try to straighten it, it will break, and if you leave it, it will remain crooked. So I urge you to take care of the women, as mentioned in the Hadith Sahih al-Bukhari. Dwelling in paradise. Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa dwelt in tranquility in paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam alayhi salam, as mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 35, "Eat, both of you, freely with pleasure and delight of things therein as wherever you will." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continued his instructions to Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa by warning them, as mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 35. "Come not near this tree, or you both will be of the wrongdoers." Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa lived in tranquil existence and understood that they were forbidden to eat from the tree. However, Iblis was waiting to exploit the weakness of mankind. Who is Iblis? Iblis or Shaitan is a creature from the world of the jinn. The jinn are a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made from fire. They are separate and different from both the angels and mankind. However, like mankind, they possess the power of reason and can choose between good and evil. Who is Iblis? Iblis or Shaitan is a creature from the world of the jinn. The jinn are a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made from fire. They are separate and different from both the angels and mankind. However, like mankind, they possess the power of reason and can choose between good and evil. The jinn existed before the creation of Adam alayhi salam, and Iblis, who was earlier known as Azazel, was the most righteous among them, so much so that he was elevated to high position amongst the angels. As mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Hijr, verse 30 to 35. The angels prostrated themselves, all of them together, except Azazel. He refused to be among the prostrators. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "O Azazel, what is your reason for not being among prostrators?" Azazel said, "I am not the one to prostrate myself to a human being, who you created from sounding clay of altered black smooth mud." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Then get out from here, for verily you are an outcast or cursed one. Verily the curse shall be upon you till the day of resurrection." And that was the time when he was given the name Iblis or Shaitan, the role of Iblis. Iblis was there in paradise of Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa, and his woe was to misguide and deceive them and their descendants. Iblis said, as mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Araf, verse 16-17, "Surely I will sit in wait against them on your straight path. Then I will come to them from before them and behind them, from their right and from their left." Iblis is ignorant and considered himself better than Adam alayhi salam and thus mankind. He is crafty and cunning, but ultimately understands the weakness of human beings. He recognizes their loves and desires. Iblis did not say to Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa, "Go eat from the tree," nor did he outrightly tell them to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He whispered into their hearts and planted disquieting thoughts and desires. Iblis said to Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa, as mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Araf, verse 20, "Your Lord did not forbid you this tree, save that you should become angels or become of the immortals." Their mind became filled with thoughts of the tree, and one day they decided to eat from it. Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa behaved as all human beings do. They become preoccupied with their own thoughts and the whispering of Iblis, and they forgot the warning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As mentioned in Quran, Surah Fatir, verse 18, "And no bearer of burdens shall bear another's burden." Every human being is responsible for his or her action and is born pure and free from sin. Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa committed a mistake. They repented sincerely, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite wisdom forgave them. It is mentioned in Quran Surah Taha, verse 121 and 122. "Then they both ate of that tree, and so their private paths appeared to them, and they began to stick on themselves the leaves from paradise for their covering. Thus did Adam disobey his Lord, so he went astray. Then his Lord chose him and turned to him with forgiveness and gave him guidance." Mankind has a long history of committing mistakes and forgetting. Even so, how was it possible for Adam alayhi salam to have committed such a mistake? The reality was that Adam alayhi salam did not have any experience with the whispering and ploys of Iblis. Adam alayhi salam had seen the arrogance of Iblis when he refused to follow the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knew that Iblis was his enemy but had no familiarity with how to resist Iblis' tricks and schemes. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, as mentioned in Sahih Muslim, "Knowing something is not the same as seeing it." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, Surah Al-Araf, verse 22, "So he misled them with deception." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Adam alayhi salam so that he could learn and gain experience. In this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared Adam alayhi salam for his role on earth as caretaker and a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From this experience, Adam alayhi salam learned the great lesson that Iblis is cunning, ungrateful, and a void enemy of mankind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, Surah Al-Araf, verse 22, "So he misled them with deception." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested Adam alayhi salam so that he could learn and gain experience. In this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prepared Adam alayhi salam for his role on earth as caretaker and a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From this experience, Adam alayhi salam learned the great lesson that Iblis is cunning, ungrateful, and a void enemy of mankind. Adam alayhi salam, Bibi Hawa, and their descendant learned that Iblis caused their expulsion from heaven. Obedience to Allah and enmity towards Iblis is the only path back to heaven. The freedom to choose. This experience was an essential lesson and demonstrated free will. If Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa were to live on earth, they needed to be aware of the tricks and schemes of Iblis. They also needed to understand the dire consequences of sin and the infinite mercy and forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa would eat from the tree. He knew that Iblis would strip away their innocence. It is important to understand that although Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the outcome of the event before they happen and allows them, He does not force things to happen. Adam alayhi salam had free will and bore the consequences of his deeds. Mankind has free will and thus is free to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but there are consequences. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises those who obey His commands and promises them great rewards. And He condemns those who disobey Him and warns them against doing so. Adam alayhi salam's first 4 children. Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa first children, Cain, known as Qabil, and his sister were twins. Abel, known as Habil, and his sister, another set of twins, soon followed. Adam alayhi salam and his family lived in peace and harmony. Qabil plowed the earth while Habil was a shepherd. Time passed and the occasion came for the son of Adam alayhi salam to marry. A group of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, including Ibn Abbas and Ibn Masud, related that intermarriage of the male of one pregnancy with the female of another had been the practice among Adam alayhi salam's children. Therefore, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan to fill the earth included each of Adam alayhi salam's sons marrying the twin sister of other. It seems that beauty has played a part in the attraction of men and women since the beginning. Qabil was not pleased with the partner chosen for him. Qabil began to envy his brother and refused to obey the command of his father, and in doing so, he disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created man with both good and bad tendencies, and the struggle to overcome our baser instinct is part of His test for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded that each son was to offer a sacrifice. His judgment would favor the son whose offer was the most acceptable. Qabil offered his worst grain, but Habil offered his best cattle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted Habil's sacrifice, so Qabil became enraged, threatening to kill his brother. As mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 27. And, O Muhammad, recite to them, the Jews, the story of the 2 sons of Adam, Abel and Cain, in truth. When each offered a sacrifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it was accepted from the one, but not from the other. The latter said to the farmer, I will surely kill you. Habil advised his brother that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would accept good deeds from those that fear and serve Him, but reject the good deeds of those who are arrogant, selfish and disobedient towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As mentioned in Quran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 27 and 28, the former said, Verily, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept only from those who are pious. If you do stretch your hand against me to kill me, I shall never stretch my hand against you to kill you, for I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of mankind, jinn, and all that exists. The first murder. As mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 27-28. So the self of the other encouraged him and made fair seeming to him the murder of his brother. He murdered him and became one of the losers. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us that Qabil became angry and hit his brother over the head with a piece of iron. It was also said in another narration that Qabil hit Habil over the head while he was sleeping. As mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 31, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a crow who scratched the ground to show him to hide the dead body of his brother. He said, Woe to me! I am not even able to be as this crow and to hide the dead body of my brother. Then he became one of those who regretted. Adam alayhi salam was devastated. He had lost both his first and second born sons. One had been murdered, the other was won over by mankind's greatest enemy, Iblis. Patiently, Adam alayhi salam prayed for his son and continued to care for the earth. He taught his many children and grandchildren about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He told them of his own encounter with Iblis and advised them to beware of Iblis' tricks and schemes. Years and years passed and Adam alayhi salam grew old and his children spread out across the earth. Adam alayhi salam's death. All of mankind are the children of Adam alayhi salam. In one narration, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed Adam alayhi salam his descendants. Adam alayhi salam saw a beautiful light in Prophet Dawood alayhi salam's eyes and loved him. So he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said, "O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give him 40 years from my life." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted his request and it was written down and sealed. Adam alayhi salam's lifespan was supposed to be 1000 years, but after 960 years, the angel of death, Malakul Maut, came to Adam alayhi salam. Adam alayhi salam was surprised and said, "But I still have 40 years to live." Malakul Maut reminded him of his gift of 40 years to his beloved descendant, Prophet Dawood alayhi salam, but Adam alayhi salam denied it. As mentioned in the Hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that many years later, Adam alayhi salam denied, so the children of Adam deny. Adam alayhi salam forgot and his children forgot. Adam alayhi salam made mistakes and his children make mistakes. Adam alayhi salam's successor. Before his death, Adam alayhi salam reminded his children that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would never leave them alone or without guidance. He told them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would send other prophets with unique names, traits and miracles, but they would all call to the same thing, the worship of the one true Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Adam alayhi salam appointed as his successor his son Seth, or called as Sheeth alayhi salam. That was the complete detailed story of Adam alayhi salam. In the series Stories of Prophet, we would be next narrating the story of Idris alayhi salam. We would request you all to kindly subscribe the channel. Allah Hafiz. Take care.